Chapter 20, Restoring Broken Fellowship, because apparently shared experience can break. Relationships are always worth restoring. Bullshit! Bullshit, 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 bullshit! My relationship with my ex-husband, not worth restoring. My relationship with my mom, yeah, that's questionable. My relationship with my cult-leading grandmother, not worth restoring. This is why I have so little respect for you, Rick Warren. You make these declarative 100% statements, always or never or all, and you bring nothing to back them up. These statements are so ridiculous, I only have to find one exception to disprove them. It's a lot safer and, frankly, more honest to say things like almost never or most. But even then, if you don't bring citation, I am going to call you out on it. Rick Warren confuses peacemaking with being a doormat. He says that peacemaking is one of the most important skills you can develop. Unfortunately, most of us were never taught how to resolve conflict. I kind of have been studying that for years because it fascinates me. In 4th grade, my first year at public school, I joined the conflict resolution team and actually did learn some skills on conflict management. In college, I was a Middle East Studies major because I hoped to be a peace negotiator for the Middle East. Conflict resolution is something that absolutely fascinates me, Rick, and what you're proposing isn't that. Jesus, the Prince of Peace, was never afraid of conflict. On occasion, he provoked it. Do you mean when he had a temper tantrum in the temple, or do you mean the time he had a temper tantrum with a fig tree? And I always found it interesting that people can call Jesus the Prince of Peace when one of his supposed direct quotes is, "I come not to bring peace, but a sword." Yeah, real peaceable guy there, Ricky. Now, here Rick says that peacemaking is not appeasement. Always giving in, acting like a doormat, and allowing others to always run over you is not what Jesus had in mind. Unless, of course, you're a Christian woman in a complementarian marriage, right, Rick? Then they are supposed to be a doormat and let their husband walk all over them because he has the spiritual authority to do so, right? Because remember, folks, authority exists in the penis. According to the Bible, wisdom is testicular. How to restore a relationship. Talk to God before talking to the person. Yes, because talking to yourself is the absolute best way to gain outside perspective or information, right, Christians? Always take the initiative. Well, damn, what if the two people having a conflict have both read your book, Rick? Are they going to be competing to be the one who takes the initiative first? It doesn't matter whether you are the offender or offended. God expects you to make the first move. So, again, I'm going to bring up some examples that I know are problems at Saddleback Church and were problems for me when I was a Christian. Let's talk about spouse abuse, huh? Let's talk about that, Rick. It doesn't matter whether I was the offender or the offended. It doesn't matter if I was the one being abusive or being abused. God expects me to make things right because, after all, relationships are always worth restoring, right? Right, Rick? Or are you going to take that back? I'd love for you to, because I think it'd be an improvement, but I doubt you will. Hell, Rick won't even come out and say that the kill the gays bill in Uganda is a bad idea. Probably because he supports it. Schedule a face-to-face meeting as soon as possible. Delay only deepens resentment and makes matters worse. But aren't you supposed to pray to God first before you go talk to them? I mean, you even said that, God might fix things on his own and we wouldn't even have to talk to them. Oh, look, here's another one used to bludgeon Christians. The Bible says sin, including unresolved conflict, blocks our fellowship with God and keeps our prayers from being answered. So if you don't get along with every single Christian, remember, a member of your family, and more important than your earthly family, if you have any conflict with any Christian, that is going to keep God from answering your prayers. Either God is impotent, overly picky, or fictional. Guess which one I'm going with. Sympathize with their feelings, the other person, the person who perhaps abused you, the person who perhaps wronged you. You need to sympathize with their feelings. Focus on their feelings, not the facts. Again, Rick Warren is like writing a guidebook on how to be a battered Christian wife and feel absolutely miserable, but think that you're spiritually superior in the process. Rick Warren, a man whose testicles I'd like to see removed. Rick claims that we all act beastly when hurt. I don't know what he means by beastly specifically. Animal, or I don't actually know exactly in what specific negative connotation he means that. But let me just say again, bullshit! Many people, when they are hurt, retreat inward. Many people, when they're hurt themselves. Many people, when they're hurt, stay silent and get hurt more. Rick, your idea that no one should talk about their feelings except to their imaginary friend anytime a woman complains about her husband, that's gossip, and that's wrong. You are setting people up to get abused. No wonder Saddleback has such a high rate of battered wives. Your God is an abusive husband. It's a sacrifice to patiently absorb the anger of others, especially if it's unfounded. But remember, this is what Jesus did for you. Bullshit, okay? Jesus didn't patiently absorb anger. You were just talking about how Jesus caused conflict when he wanted things his way. Shut the fuck up, Rick. Yeah, and again, this is setting people up, telling people that to patiently absorb the unfounded anger of others is a sacrifice, is somehow holy or good. You're an asshole. I really, really don't like you, Rick. It's chapters like this that remind me that you're not just a funny fat fucker with some stupid beliefs, but that you're dangerous and that you actively hurt people for the sake of your own fucking comfort. Look, you need to confess you're part of the conflict, as if every single conflict that ever occurred was two equal parties equally fucking up and equally making amends, when we know this is not the case. That might be the case in healthy relationships, but since Rick Warren has done nothing to talk about how to have a healthy relationship, what makes a healthy relationship, what makes a healthy church, none of that. It's just go, join, belong, obey, and admit your part in you being hurt. Again, I swear, Rick Warren must have read Al-Anon's books before writing this shit. Oh, Rick, you must have known about me when you wrote this line. He says that a soft answer is always better than a sarcastic one. I'm gonna let my subscribers answer that idea. He goes on to some verses about how nagging wives are, says nagging never works. You are never persuasive when you're abrasive. I am. I persuade people through my abrasiveness all the time, Ricky. Stop making declarative statements. I can disprove every one of them. You're a jackass. See, being abrasive didn't stop me from having good points. Cooperate as much as possible. Peace always has a price tag. It's not always that bad, though. Sometimes it costs our pride. It often costs our self-centeredness. Rick, maybe you're extremely self-centered. I can believe that. But the rest of us aren't necessarily. Stop painting all of us with the broad brush of your own personal failings. Emphasize reconciliation, not resolution. Yeah, instead of worrying about actually solving whatever problem it was that caused a rift between two people, don't deal with that, just have them. It's like when a kindergarten teacher tries to force two kids to hug and say they're sorry on the playground and they fucking hate each other during the hug. Yeah, that's not actually a solution. You might get everyone to stop hitting for a minute, but it hasn't solved anything. Focusing on reconciliation, not resolution, is a bad idea. It means not addressing problems and instead putting people back into unhealthy situations. This is the chapter that makes me want to go all stabbity. Oh, look, when you work for peace, you are doing what God would do. Yes, because God was obviously so concerned with reconciliation with the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, or with the whole planet besides Noah, or with Adam and, oh, fuck it, no, he wasn't. He's all about retribution and punishment. There's nothing about reconciliation in your God. Shut up. Day 20, point to ponder. relationships are always worth restoring. Bullshit! Verse to remember. Do everything possible on your part to live in peace with everybody. Romans 12:18. So be a doormat. That's Rick's advice. Question to consider. Who do I need to restore a broken relationship with today? No one, Rick. The relationships that I've walked away from were worth walking away from. Not every relationship is worth restoring. A lot of times, running the fuck away is the smartest, most sensible, and healthiest thing someone can do. But personal health isn't really something you're concerned with, is it? Obedience? Oh man, that is right up Rick's alley. Everybody on YouTube, have great godless days. Thanks for being such great fans. We're about halfway through. When this is all done, I'm going to make a DVD series, and you can enjoy showing these to your own Christian friends and family members. Peace